is what exactly is happening here in Kakamega. We are at the Lurambi Constituency Tallying Center, and I am joined by the man in charge of this exercise here at Lurambi Constituency, the returning officer, telling us that out of those over 70% of the Form 34As that have already been uploaded on the national tallying portal, some of them have come from this constituency. So perhaps you can just tell us how many of those Forms 34As have been uploaded from your constituency?
Right now I have around 165 forms from the 165 polling stations, which they have managed to upload it. I'm remaining with around 13 or so, and I'm done. Yes.
So when do you expect to present the Form 34B to the National Tallying Center at the Bomas of Kenya? And why would your reasons be for taking the time you had indicated earlier that you'll be taking to make sure that you get them to Nairobi in good order?
This time we don't want to do our things in a hurry. We want to be very cautious. That's why I'm saying by tomorrow midday, I think I'll be done with all the forms. I'll take my time, then maybe travel to Nairobi in the evening to present them to my chairman at the Bomas of Kenya. But so far I'm impressed with the progress we have made so far. As you can see outside, most polling stations or presiding officers have just arrived, and we want to start off our today's announcements.
Indeed, if we could see outside, but clearly at this point we can't. We've seen a lot of activity, many of the presiding officers bringing in their boxes. Just take us through what happens when you get hold of those boxes as soon as they are received at the receiving bay outside.
When the boxes when they arrive here, there is a receiving desk which is being manned by one of my officers. There are items which are supposed to be brought to the RO. They know them very clearly. There are some non-strategic items which are being taken to the warehouse, and this is being done by the deputy presiding officer. The presiding officer brings the box and the results, all from A series, to the returning officer. That is what I'm waiting for here, and I'm going to use those from A series to announce the results as they are in the polling stations. After that one, I'll generate my Form Bs, which I'll use to carry and take to the National Tallying Center. That is for presidential. I'll declare the MCA and the member of the National Assembly here tonight or tomorrow in the morning, and the remaining seats, that is the senator and the women rep, I'll take my deputy. We take to the Kakamega Constituency Tallying Center in Kakamega High School tomorrow.
So by the time you take the Form 34As and 34Bs to the National Tallying Center, would you be able to at least have an idea of how many votes each presidential candidate has garnered from your constituency?
Actually, I'll be announcing that one here. Before I leave, I'll be announcing what each and every presidential candidate has garnered. But I cannot declare. That's the work of the national chairman. Yes.
Perhaps can you just tell us also the question of about voter turnout in this constituency? How has that been given the circumstances under which many voters in this constituency and this county at large have had to deal with in the course of the day?
The voter turnout today was not very, very impressive. We are talking around 50%. But remember, I still have around 13 polling stations who have not sent their transmission. So maybe after tallying up the 13, maybe it could rise to 58 or maximum maybe 60. Yes.
Thank you so much, Mr. Returning Officer. So, Jamila, that is the situation here at the Lurambi Constituency Tallying Center. Activities beginning to pick up. Like he mentions clearly, probably by tomorrow midday, we should be having an indication of what each presidential candidate has garnered from this constituency before he takes those Form 34As and 34Bs generated from the 34As and brings them to Nairobi, where you guys are, perhaps, and giving us an indication of just how each of the presidential candidates have performed in this constituency, and then perhaps with the other returning officers from the other 11 constituencies from Kakamega County also doing the same, and then tallying and also getting to know just how well the presidential candidates have performed in this region. We've seen in the last days of the campaign the two major candidates have been making many trips to this county, to this constituency, just trying to get the support to come out in large exact numbers, but like he tells us, the voter turnout has not been very good. Many of them attributing this to the cancelled, suspended governor's race. So Jamila, we will still be waiting here to see as these boxes come in, as the results get announced, just exactly how things will pan out in Lurambi constituency and the larger Kakamega County. Back